Hola, en español hay dos verbos que se dicen to know. Hay saber para información y conocer para personas. So throughout this PowerPoint, you'll see examples of saber with a light bulb because information is represented by here. Conocer is more with people, being familiar with places, etc. So here I have a network of people. So both of these are going to be irregular verbs in the yo form. So they both are regular everywhere except for the yo form. So make sure you write down this conjugation of saber. And here's a common instance where you'd use saber. So if you know how to do something, you'll have saber and then you'd put the infinitive after it. So if I have like yo sé leer, I know is conjugated, and then to read, I did not conjugate. Down here, they know how to dance. So I'm going to use saber since it's knowing how to do something. The Aos form would be saben, and to dance was bailar. So I did not conjugate bailar since it's the second verb in my clause, and it's the infinitive in this formula. I know how to speak Spanish. That's something you should all be able to somewhat say at this point. So I know, say, remember that's irregular, note the accent mark on it. Is there's also a pronoun say that's super common, and we don't want to get those confused. And then how to do something is the infinitive, don't conjugate it since it's our second verb, hablar español. So saber, light bulb verb, information, how to do something. Moving on to conocer, see this people picture because it's for knowing people and being familiar with something. So once again, the yo form of conocer is irregular, conozco, so be sure to note that. And then here's the 3 times you're going to use conocer. So knowing people, that's represented by our picture. So I could say I know like any family, friend, anyone you actually know in person. If I like know something, like I know who the president of the U.S. is, I don't know him personally. But so in that case, I would not use conocer. Ejemplo número dos, to be familiar with a place. So for instance, I'm familiar with Dunlap Middle School and Dunlap High School. So I would use I'd say yo conozco Dunlap High School or yo conozco Dunlap Middle School since I'm familiar with them. And then to meet someone for the first time, you also do conocer. So conocer could really mean to know, to be familiar with, and then also to meet, if you want to be specific in your definition. Another point that comes up a lot with conocer is the personal a. So in Spanish, when a direct object is someone's name, you have to put an a before that. So if I'm saying, I know Clara, Clara is the direct object, she's a person, so I have to have an a. Unfortunately, I do not know Messi. So Messi is my direct object, he's a person, he gets an a. Think of it as people being special, so they get an a before their name because we want to make people feel special. So even if it's not a name, let's say I know a teacher, I'd still put a before it because maestra is referring to a person. So basically put personal a before direct objects that are people. If it's a pet that's special to you, you could also use a because you treat them like a person. So this topic is kind of like Sarah and a star, where we have the same word in English but then 2 different words in Spanish. But now it's with saber and conocer both meaning to know. So if I'm talking about math, math, is that knowledge, knowing how to do something, or is it knowing people, being familiar with a place? So that's how you have to think in this process. So math would be saber, since it's knowledge. Tu amigo, your friend. If they're your friends, you better know them personally. So conocer. Peoria, we all live here, so I'll write down conocer. If let's say you just moved here, like let's say a week ago, you don't know Peoria very well yet, then you might use saber. But I don't think that's anybody here, or at least while I'm filming this. Mi madre. Personally, I know my mom, So I'm going to say conocer. Let's say you don't know your mom for whatever reason, then you could use saber. The superintendent of Dunlap. So maybe you know them. In that case, you do conocer. If you don't know them, like you just know their name, then saber. And Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think any of us know him personally, so we're going to use saber since we just know who he is. That is everything. So remember, saber is our light bulb verb to know. Conocer is knowing people. Hasta luego.